Chase Topolski has pushed his way up the New Jersey prospect rankings with a fantastic summer and fall season. Things are coming together for this talented Lenape High School senior who regularly sits in the low 90s and has goals of much more. After a strong season at Lenape, this talented member of the class of 2022 really hit his stride over the summer, and the University of Richmond is very excited to add Topolski to their roster. We talk with Chase Topolski, soon headed to Richmond, on this edition of JBS Generation Next.
Oh yeah, whoa, look, they can never keep me down, I'm going, and if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up. I bet when I land, they gon' tell me it's luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch.
Generation Next, we are looking at some of the top high school baseball players in the state of New Jersey. Here on this special Jersey baseball show, we are here with Chase Topolski, outstanding member of the class of 2022, shooting up the ranks, having a fantastic summer and fall, and verbal commitment to the University of Richmond. Thank you for coming on, Chase, and certainly excited to have you with us.
Of course, it's an honor. I was so excited, so pumped for this. I couldn't wait for this.
My Instagram live from Jupiter buddy here. That's right. So we're going to start by asking you, though, before we get into what Florida was like and how we already know now that you're going to move there with your family when you get older, because there's nowhere better to be. But tell us, why Richmond, how that process went for you. Kind of give us the quick on your journey there, and how excited you are to play for Coach Woodson and Coach Mulberg.
Well, it started off as, when I saw that place, it kind of just like pushed every factor that was in play just out of the way. I mean, when I saw the campus, first things first, I was like, okay, this place is legit. Like, it's one of the nicest campuses in the country. I would say Richmond came across me because at the time that was during the midst of the pandemic, like the prime of the pandemic. And remember when the NCAA and all that went black. I remember to prepare for college ball, Josh Willits was on my elite team at the time. I was playing for South Jersey Elite that summer, and Josh Willits was on that team with me. And as you know, now he's one of the, he was top South Jersey guy too, of course, yeah. Richmond. So I kind of,
and he's got a special place here, throwing the last ball of the Generals Championship season last summer. So we know and we love Josh quite a bit.
Yeah, Trenton General. He
sort of. He was a hired gun for the playoffs, but we're okay with that.
Yeah. But when I remember, because when we were doing all the you had to coaches had to see people. There wasn't really showcases and whatnot going on up here, at least. And I wasn't going down south until the fall, so I was really stuck up here. And I remember him saying to me, like, "Oh, you're like Richmond's actually very interesting you," because I know Coach Keith, shout out Coach Keith Gargozo. He had tight ties to Mulberg, and so when I found that out, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'll keep that back in my mind. That was about May or so, and I remember I pitched in the Futures. It was the tryout for the Futures game. It was the Futures trial session for PBR. Shout out TJ Hunt too. He was a big help for this. So all his events he set up. And so I pitched very well. I got to start for the first 2 innings for the gray team. It was the morning session. And I remember after putting on a good showing there, I made the Futures game. And once they saw me at the Futures game, I started talking to Coach Mulberg that July. I remember I was we were sitting in my best friend's backyard. We were swimming in his pool. And I remember Coach texted me, Richmond wanted to talk to me. And ever since then, I just kind of got rolling. And other schools like Seton Hall, Fairfield, Lehigh, they all recruited me. And I love them all. They were all great. All those guys, great guys.
Yeah.
But when I just got on the campus to Richmond, man, it was a stunner. It really was. When I walked on that place, it was like when my dad and I were driving up, we were like, where is it? Like, do we put in the right address? And you pull up, you see the beautiful sign football field to your left, drive down that road. Oh man, that was like, wow. I think right then and there, that was probably about 2 weeks before they offered me. And that's when I said, yeah, like I'm going here. Like, it's pretty close to my brother. It's only about an hour and a half from my brother at Duke. So, it's south. I wanted to go south, and it just, and of course I have buddies there, Conklin, Robert Reddy, Josh Willett, saw them. So, it was the perfect fit, really.
Yeah, no, the South Jersey coach recruiting a lot of South Jersey guys. Now, have you had a chance to meet the new pitching coach, Josh Epstein? Did you get to meet him?
I have. Yeah, when I went down there, he was a very cool guy, like-minded. As soon as I saw him, we said we're gonna get to work. Can't wait to get to work when I get on campus. So it was gonna be. When I met him, I could tell he was just on the same page as Moberg and Woodson. So I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah. No, he did a great job with the Monmouth guys. He's got he's a Jersey guy too. So it's like meant to be, right? It's meant to be this way.
Oh yeah.
So earlier this month, get the weekend in Jupiter, kind of the last game pitching of the year before we get into training mode. But just tell us about that experience, because it's a national team that you're with. And obviously a great location to play for a weekend in October.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I saw it as much of a vacation as I did a business trip. You know what I mean? So when I first got down there, and I was like, we were pulling up because it's on one of the sister campuses to Florida Atlantic. You see the palm tree, you see the golf course. You pull up to this nice little village with all these restaurants, shops, beautiful houses and all that, and you're like, and I walked through the entrance, and it was just baseball fields on baseball fields on baseball fields, palm trees on palm trees, all this great competition around you, surrounded by talent of like it's crazy. You see and don't even get me started on the pro scouts, the college scouts. It was surreal. It was almost like it was fake at first. I was like, wow. Like I've seen this. Yeah. Like you see these in the photos, you see the photos online, the videos, especially when I was younger. I was like, oh yeah, like, man, it would be cool to be there one day. And when I pulled up, I was like, oh my God, I'm here. And I'm with, I was with all my buddies on the national team. A few artillery guys went to USA Prime National. So I had a lot of friends, like Irish, the catcher going to Auburn, Alex Stanwich, Tennessee outfielder, Dylan Dreiling, Tennessee outfielder, Bo Bryan, Auburn pitcher. Who else was there from Max Yale, West Virginia lefty, but he wasn't at Jupiter, unfortunately. But a lot of, and I met new friends like Beck, a lot of cool people. It was just such an experience. And I can't even tell you about when I stepped on the mound for the first time. It was just like, I could barely compose my excitement while I was warming up in the bullpen, because I know right next to me, I talked to him in the hotel lobby the night before, Scott Hunter, the head Mariners scout.
Yeah.
And obviously Cade, Cade's at Virginia Tech, played with my brother in high school, and Grant Hunter. It's like a little brother on the baseball team with me. So it was cool. It was cool knowing that, having like a friend there watching me. But like when I saw him right next to me, I was like, oh man, it's all business. There he is in his golf cart with his Mariners shirt on. So yeah, it was when I stepped up on that mound, I had the biggest smile on my face. I was like, it's here. I've been waiting years for this final travel outing. Let's just go at it. Like, it was against the Chicago Scouts Club. So, very solid organization.
Yeah. And you threw well.
Very well. Yeah. 2 innings, 90-92, scoreless, no walks, 2 Ks, 1 hit. Kid put a good line drive up the middle on me. But other than that, yeah, it was just all pop-ups and ground balls. And then I struck a few kids out. And yeah, I was just feeling it. I was like 66% on strikes. I think I only threw 21 pitches. It's crazy. I went all the way down there, 21 pitches.
21 pitches, yeah. Back to the beach.
Best of my life right there,
So you finish it on such a great note for the year. Now it's heavy training, and I know you've got goals of how do I get to the mid 90s by the spring, and it's gonna happen, right? But how do we do that? What's the training plan between now and then? What do we do? What do we attack to get ourselves in peak performance for the spring, and then obviously for beyond?
Big legs, strong core, flexible upper body, and great mechanics. Great mechanics. One thing I've realized so far in this journey of baseball is, man, I got recruited. I've pitched great in high school, and all with poor mechanics, I found out. So I've really tapped into what I should be doing. I've been working I've been working in the facility every day, and I've just been, it's hard to explain them, like, what I need to work on, because there's so much, staying straight with the body, finding how to use my legs more. And, I found out that my old arm slot actually took a lot of velocity away from me. And I was very happy to see that. I actually, for Jupiter, I completely changed up my mechanics, or my legs at least. And I was sitting 90-92. I was like, so that's a great start.
Yeah.
And so I think mid 90s by the spring is most definitely going to happen. I think I could actually be up to 94 in the winter, which is hopefully the case. I have a pen tomorrow, so the pen tomorrow is really going to lay down the foundation for my entire off season until we hit spring.
So when you say the facility, let's give a shout out to everybody's got a different, their guy. Your Lights Out.
USA Prime Northeast, shout out Lights Out Academy, Brian Henry, Coach Larry, Joe Martin, all those guys. They have a great thing going there. A lot of people don't realize, like, they got big stuff coming. I mean, like, they've produced some, obviously we got guys like Max Martin, he's a podcast guy. He's out of Lights Out. Nick Tomasetto, Rutgers commit, great player, 23. And a lot of others. And, they're just going to keep coming. The more they train, the better they get, bigger it comes, that they got some big stuff going on up there. And that's why I love it, because I grew up in that place. I completely grew up in that place. I met Brian when I was about 12. And, I remember when South Jersey Elite became USA Prime Northeast, I really watched that place grow, met new people, made bigger connections, and here I am now. So
you mentioned your brother, Josh, down at Duke, South Jersey Star, a couple of years ago, 2018 graduate.
That's 2018, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's good. I remember, and that's even with COVID messing with my mind, and that year just kind of flew by. But how did he impact you, not just watching him play on the field, but him going through the experience of being recruited, being a high academic student too, and obviously going to one of the best programs in the country?
So he really inspired me. I knew it was coming, but from his experience, from what he's done at Duke, I can really know what's ahead of the road. He was kind of like the torchbearer who walked first, you know what I mean? So, there's been struggles, there's been times of glory, but he's really paved the way and really has shown me what's to come, what to expect, how hard I need to work. And it's kind of forced me to change up my mindset, how I go about things, I was, when he was a senior, I was 8th grade, I was, much lazier and more into the fun side of life as a kid, you know what I mean? Until if this is what you want to do, you got to realize it's a job, it's a commitment, sacrifice have to be made. So he really showed me that. And I'm thankful he went through the experience first. I think my oldest sister, she played soccer at Rice. A lot of younger people around here don't know much about her because she's older, but she ran track, played soccer at Rice. So we kind of had an idea of what the D1 level of athletics kind of held for us. But once Jake got to Duke, that kind of showed us what baseball was all about. And I'm thankful for that, because now I've worked my butt off. I'm going to keep on doing it, and just prepare, just be ready.
Yeah, for sure. No, Always baseball first?
Academics, got to
Oh,
make
no,
sure
no,
you
I
got in
was
them good
looking at any
grades.
other sports that were up there with baseball.
Um, I was always pretty solid at football. I was pretty solid. Obviously, my brother, he was a football star too, won a state championship and all that. Got recruited a little bit for football, but baseball was always his thing. I was pretty solid at basketball. I would say I was probably better at football than I was at basketball. Basketball was always just something I did for fun. Um, Football, I could always sling it because I like an arm. I was a good little quarterback,
Yep.
and I liked linebacker because I could just run and hit people. But after seeing Jake's experience with college baseball, he goes back and he thinks about, well, what if I just focused on baseball, see what could have happened. So I dropped basketball and football to ensure that I have success at the next level. That's just like the sacrifices I was talking about. Like that was two of the sacrifices I made because I enjoyed both sports and I had a lot of fun playing them. Had a lot of memories with the football team, but I had to make that choice last year before the fall.
Yeah. So that is something you learn from Jake then to that experience of, there's a point where if I really want baseball, I better really go get, I better
Yeah.
get real serious about it.
Yeah, it's been my job. I mean, baseball has been my job. People always say, Chase, why don't you get a job? I always say, because baseball is gonna be my job. I mean, I'm in the complex more than 5 hours a day, lift, throw, recover,
Mm-hmm.
stretch, all that. I'm in there 5 hours a day. I leave school at 2:27, get to the complex at about 3:15, and I'm there usually till about 6 o'clock, almost 7. So yeah, it's you got it.
What's one thing you learned, along the way through high school that you wish you could have, that you wish 14-year-old Chase would have known, or and kind of make it a present thing that you could, tell guys who are about to enter high school themselves?
I think about this often. I think about there's a lot of things, the biggest one would be probably put your grades first before anything. Not that I had bad grades, but I think even better grades are always a good thing. You know what I mean?
There's so many options. Yeah.
Yeah. The second thing, honestly, just hit the weights. 14-year-old Chase should have hit the weights a little earlier. You know what I mean? But hit the weights and really, if you really want to play baseball, make it your number one priority. Make grades and baseball your absolute number one priority. I mean, there's things that are important, but if you want to make it, if it's your life goal to play professional baseball, college baseball, any of that, I realize like it's got to be the first thing you think about. You know what I mean? Honestly, nowadays, I remember I'm 14, there's a lot of different things I thought about, video games, girls, all that's nice still in my life, but baseball really is my number one priority. I mean, I'm sitting in class, I'm thinking about baseball, what I'm going to work on later, how I'm going to lift that day, all that. And yeah, I would tell 14-year-old Chase, be better with the books, hit the weights, don't worry about the fun stuff because fun stuff will always be included in life, I've realized. So yeah.
You do what you really want to, it's going to be fun anyway.
Exactly. Baseball makes life fun. I mean, there's fun that comes with it. So
if you could be D1 in any other sport, what would we choose?
Oh, football. That would be easy. Football. Be like a 4-star quarterback. That would be really cool. I think about that too. Be a quarterback like, Trevor Lawrence or somebody like that. That would be really cool. Get all his offers for football, go to like Alabama or Auburn or Clemson or somewhere like that. Yeah, definitely football.
Be the man at whatever school you go to. Yeah, that would,
Exactly.
not a bad life.
Not at all.
Outside of family, who's had the biggest impact on your career?
Outside of family, I would definitely say Coach Keith. He had a huge impact.
That's Coach, and
Obviously,
for those who don't know, that's that Keith Garagosa you're talking about, right?
yeah, yeah. I would say him and Larry Yurkanis. Those two have had a huge impact for at the time of my recruitment, because
Mhm.
those two are probably the biggest factors that. Oh, Coach Wazienko, can't forget about him. My Lenape head coach. He spent countless hours sending emails out during April of 2020, March of 2020. He was on the clock all the time. If I asked him, we would both be sending emails after email. He was actually the one who got me in contact with UMBC and Seton Hall. He was big for that. Rutgers too. Yeah, I can't forget about him. He's had a huge impact on me. Shout out Coach Waz.
Sure. Playing for Coach Garagosa, I mean, you're talking about somebody who made it all the way.
Major leaguer.
That kind of, I mean, that's got to have a big impact on little Chase or younger Chase growing up, wanting to do that, I would think.
Oh yeah, kind of thinking like, the thought always sat with me like, man, like, I'm getting personal advice from a guy who's lived the life of a major leaguer. You know what I mean? Like that does not come often. You do not get that advice and that taught to you often from a person like that. So it's just, I'm so fortunate, go to school with Nick, great friends with Nick. Keith and my dad are, great friends. And yeah, that was lucky. That was God blessing me with a good situation right there.
Absolutely. Outside interests other than baseball being your number one thing, what else do we like to do?
Love ping pong. Love pool. Video games, obviously everybody plays video games. Love driving around. I love driving my car. Cars are great. I have a big interest in cars and all that, going fast and not too fast, but going fast. Sticking to the speed limit.
The speed limit is very fast, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And swimming. I got a pool out back. Obviously, I love my dogs. I got a German Shepherd and a Playhound. Love running around with them. Yeah, just do a whole bunch of fun stuff. I'm interested in a bunch of stuff. It's never sticking to one thing.
One phone app that you couldn't do without.
That I couldn't do without. That's Snapchat. I definitely couldn't do without Snapchat. It's honestly, I don't even text people anymore. As you know, I like it takes me a while to answer my text messages because I just rely on Snapchat.
Is he Snapchatting everybody?
Yeah, it's pretty much how I text people now.
Favorite pro team, any sport?
The Fightins. Go Fightins.
I mean, good, but that's good, but that's a lot of pain and suffering.
It is, but true Philly fans stick through it.
We chose that life. That's right.
Exactly. We're used to it. We stick through it.
That's right. I got an extra 30 years on you of suffering through the Phillies, and not many more good years in there.
We have 2008. Yeah, that's
so
always good.
We share the best years, but we got a lot of bad ones before that. Proudest moment on the field.
Oof. Man, that's a broad one.
Yeah.
I'd say I have I threw a no-hitter back in it was on Littlefield. I think I was sixth grade. I threw a no-hitter, and then beating Cherokee this past year. No game I pitched against them. Beating them was just like, because they actually got the win on me the first game. So the second time around, it was complete payback. And when I walked off the field, I just felt like the man. Like, I was so proud.
Describe for somebody who's not from the area what South Jersey baseball is like.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you, it's underrated. It really is underrated. Very underrated talent. A lot of kids around here that not many people in the national spotlight really know. I feel like North Jersey, because I know a lot of the prep school guys up there, they kind of dominate the scene. But I'd say South Jersey is incredibly underrated and more talented than people think. I mean,
and intense.
oh yeah. I mean, I've encountered people in high school ball that I'll use an example as Clearview. I've never seen a more intense high school baseball team than Clearview. They have a great coach. People like, not sure if anybody was like, nobody like super high D1 prospect on their team, but they were just so well coached. They were so intense and loved the game so much that they stand out. They're a great team. Yeah.
Excellent. What's one thing we want to accomplish between now and first day you leave or the day you leave for school? What's one thing we want to accomplish on the field?
95 for strikes. That was the goal right now is sit 92, 94, get up to 95. Maybe even if we have the adrenaline and the stamina, get it up to 96, So that's the goal right now. Just build up my strength, and on the field when the time comes and I hit that mid 5, that's going to be a proud moment.
I like it. We set the goals high, right? There's no point in
Yeah.
having goals if they're not something you got to achieve.
Exactly.
And team goal, Lenape, senior year, last go around to high school. What are we last chance to play with your boys? What are we looking for this year?
Minimum South Jersey chip. Minimum. I'm talking, we gotta go all the way. State championship. Come on.
Excellent.
Give the senior class something to remember,
Give everybody something to remember with that.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate the time, certainly. You definitely have to do it again sometime.
100%.
Probably when we hit that midnight, the 95, we get you back on.
Oh yeah.
But Chase Topolski, our guest today, Jersey Baseball Show Generation Next, and wish you the best and go crush it this winter.